Over to here I go.
Hello, Ken.
Hey, Alex. I believe I got all of those, so now I need to go there. I got Captain already. Go into, oh, this one I got to do differently, so I can't do that one. So did you get that email I sent you?
Yes, I did. I haven't watched it yet, but I did.
Oh, you should watch it. It's right up your alley, believe me. I found it to be very interesting. Um, way, way beyond me. I mean, I might be able to struggle through some of that. I don't know. Um, RQ, somebody else wants in. Let's see who else wants in. Craig, okay.
You having camera problem? You having camera problems?
Nope, I'm not. Why would you say that?
Because you don't have your camera on?
Because I'm sending out the Zoom links. I got my Zoom thing up to block the screen so nobody sees the little green dot. I can change it to this. My camera works just fine. But then when I type in the word Zoom in subject, it's going to go back to where it was. So.
Oh no, the dreaded green button.
Yeah, really. So as soon as I hit the Z, it changes. So I just kind of left it there.
Hello, Greg.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, not much.
I think that's everybody. Let me go through the alphabet in my head here. I've got BH Ringer. Nobody entered the U's. Nobody entered the B's. Yep, that should be everybody. Of course, now I will get a message from somebody that says, "Oh, you didn't send me the link." And I do have to send it. I got to actually send a personal invitation out to someone. It emailed me. And I will go do that real quick. I guess they don't have their email working yet. So there we go. That's done. Now I can bring Zoom back over to its normal location, which is
Hello, Rick.
not one.
Hello.
Great.
Hey, what's up, Rick? Not much.
Okay, Zoom is up and running. And cannot fail to start the video because this video is used in other settings. Okay, forgot about that. That could be an issue. Let me solve that problem real quick.
Yeah, I might have an issue on that board. I don't know if I got a bent pin on it or not. Ooh. Looks something, I don't know, maybe the light or something, but something didn't look right, but I'll find out.
I have an issue. I have an issue. I would like to bring up.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay, go ahead.
This is kind of the same issue as my mom's computer. It's just a different. One of her programs is experiencing the same thing and has for quite a while, but it's a different program. My OBS, I pinned my OBS to my taskbar, and down here it's got that little white page looking icon. The actual icon is not there, and it don't matter if I unpin it and try to repin it, it won't show up. The icon like the rest of these, but and her print shop program she uses to make the bulletins for church is the same way.
Delete the icons on the taskbar and then go back into your start menu and then pin them to the, or pin them back to the taskbar.
I tried that and it don't work.
It don't work? That might be a software issue, dude.
Well, like I said, it's happened like that on my mom's computer with another completely different software program she uses, and it's not a big deal because it still opens up and it still works. It's just the icon is not there.
Well, as long as it works, yes.
And on her computer, I tried to uninstall the software and reinstall the software about half a dozen times. The icon would come back when I pinned it at the taskbar. The icon would come back, and then the next time I reboot, after 2 or 3 times of rebooting it, it would go away.
That's the only thing that would come to my mind is what Rick suggested. I'd probably do that until it worked. I'd force it to work. So.
It sounds like that's part of the file of the,
Well, this is my OBS here. This icon, this white icon down here is my OBS, and it's been working.
Your screen right now. You stop sharing it.
Well, okay, I'll reshare it. The white icon down here is the OBS, and it's been working ever since I've had it installed. And all of a sudden today, it's not showing the icon.
I'd delete it and start over. I mean, that's.
he tried
Did you
that.
update your OBS?
Nope, it's still running the same. It doesn't even tell me there's an update when I check for updates.
Well, the first problem I see with it, and I know this from experience, is you got a white text-looking document thing. That's not right. So delete.
I know that's not right.
Now I'll continue. I've had that before and it wouldn't work. As soon as I delete it and put it back, the OBS little goofy thing comes back and it works just fine. So you might want to try it. It do work.
What do you mean you delete it? Because I've got it open right now. I can't close it or it'll stop the...
Well, yes, I know that, but you have to set your priorities. Do you want that little white text looking box thing to go away and OBS to be pinned, or do you want to continue streaming and forget about it and not do it until later? Me?
It's fine. I haven't restarted the computer, so it might fix itself automatically when I restart the computer. And if it don't, then I'll check it. Then I'll look at it then. But my mom's little white icon for her print software that she uses for the bulletin has been that way, and I've tried to uninstall and reinstall that software at least a dozen times. And the icon comes back right after I reinstall it, and whenever the computer gets rebooted again or something like that, the icon, the white icon comes right back, but the software still works.
Okay, so I'll play dumb question night. Do you delete the white icon before you restart the computer? I can answer that question.
I would.
Well, do you? The question is, do you? You say you delete it and then it comes back. Before you restart the computer, do you actually delete the white text-looking icon? Try that. So Blackwatch says he wants it all. He wants it all. He wants it now. Just pass along the message.
That
Little glitch. After resetting my account on my old computer, of course, I had to go in and personalize everything. So set up my screensaver. Just it shows a number of images from the photos. Set up a folder, and once the screensaver kicks in, neither the keyboard nor the mouse will stop the screensaver. I have to hit Control-Alt-Delete, and then the mouse will stop the screensaver.
It took me a while to figure out what the text-looking thing was, and once I did, every time I see it, I just delete it, restart, it's good, put it back on there, it's good. So, I do want to share with you something, if I can find it. I just did this like maybe 20 minutes ago. Hi, Catherine.
Hello, Catherine.
Catherine?
Hi. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Yes, very good.
Yeah, I found it. So I'm just going to move this over here rather than share. I'll share it to everybody, YouTube and everybody. I did this real hastily. It says, your January 12th, 2022, your post will be moved lower in the news feeds for at least 90 days. And then it says, why is your account restricted? You repeatedly shared false information. This is my little sister's Facebook account. She's been put in a different form of Facebook jail. Now, I'm bringing this up and showing you this because I would like to get your opinions on this. What do you think about that?
False information, what is the
If you
false?
post anything that goes against the government and Facebook and Twitter and Twitch and all the other places that contradicts what they're telling everyone, you're considered putting out false information, no matter how true it is.
I
Well,
don't
yeah, my
agree
mom-
with that statement at all.
Well, I agree too, but I mean, the overall concept is because they don't like what you're saying, you're no longer gonna be considered in the top whatever tier of how posts are made.
I don't think it's a question of whether they like what you're saying. I really think it is a question of whether what you're saying is true or not. I believe it.
My mom made a Twitter account just so she could follow people, and she don't even post a thing. And supposedly she got banned or whatever they call it, just for liking other people's stuff that they posted. Because she don't post anything.
Yeah, I have camera problems tonight. So Jeff, you're saying that maybe she's technically posting inaccurate information that is false? Oh, that looks good.
Well, now this is just based on my observations of people I see on Facebook. I've not seen anybody get put in Facebook jail, so to speak,
Oh, I have.
or stuff that was true.
So if Dr. Fauci comes out and says something and you repost it and you get false information, how does that work?
Was what he said true or not?
I don't know, but everything else he says, he goes on national news and he gets up there and speaks to America and tells us this is what we should be doing. And if he
I mean,
says something and it gets,
Fauci's case, he's had mixed messaging, I think.
well, I agree with that too.
Some stuff has been, he's been
Oh.
called out for some.
Before I
things.
say what I'm about to say, remember last night I said I was gonna lose 50 subscribers?
Yeah.
I only lost one.
Well, even
Well,
if
I'll
you
probably
disagree,
lose
I'll
a
still
bit.
subscribe.
Yeah, I'll lose 3 or 4 on this. I personally believe it's censorship. I personally believe it goes against your First Amendment rights to say what you want. I'm lucky that I'm smart enough not to do stupid stuff like that. My sister, on the other hand, not so much.
Ken,
Yes.
Well,
simple. You can listen to Fauci or whatever his name is, yes? Then you think about it, then you decide for yourself if it's right or wrong, yes? The
Yeah.
information he spreads, and then you just do nothing. You don't do a retweet, you don't do a repost, you don't do just nothing, yes? And then you have no problems, yes?
Well, I guess on this sort of thing, it's not a First Amendment issue if it isn't the government censoring you. The First Amendment only protects us against government interference. Now, Facebook or Twitter, whatever, they're private entities, they can do whatever the heck they want. If they
Yeah.
were censoring you for something that was true, I would not agree with that. So, if you see instances of where they're sticking you in jail for something
Freedom
that's
of
not,
speech.
Yeah, I thought about that, Jeff. I actually did, that it's a private entity, so therefore the First Amendment doesn't apply. You guys still see me on camera?
yep.
I can.
This is weird. Okay, cool.
I mean, now they can shut me up for saying something that is true. I wouldn't agree with it. And if they shut you up for saying something that's true, I wouldn't agree with that either.
Hey, Jeff,
Yeah,
I agree with everything, I caught only half of what you said, but actually, I checked on what you're saying, you're 100% right. But the government has given Facebook money for their internet tie lines.
for their what?
Tie lines, internet connections around the country. We've given them almost $1 billion, which,
Really?
doesn't- yeah, they don't need it, but we've helped them. So at that point,
That seems to me sort of a waste of government money.
yeah, but at that point, it puts the government's hand on the pie.
Yeah,
So what do you
they
guys
get
think
their
of this
hands
thing
on
on? Go ahead.
it. again, it's not the government. If the government's pressuring them to do stuff, then I wouldn't agree with that either.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, we do have money in the pie that
Yeah.
they didn't get,
I mean, don't get me wrong, if Facebook, even though they're private, is censoring something that is true, I would not agree with that.
Well, I have a problem with all of them, and I've said this before. When you take a sitting president, I'm not a fan, and take him off your media, that doesn't seem quite right to me.
I guess I would think even a sitting president should be treated by the same standards as anybody else. And if they want to blast Biden, for example, I mean, for doing something, if it's similar stuff, I wouldn't object to that either.
Real quick, what do you guys think? Check out YouTube right now. What do you think of this little contraption I throw together?
Now, what you need to put one up is where you can find out what her password is.
What's that?
I can click on the little green thing real quick. That helps. I just
Okay, I mean, so you're looking at the Zoom background with you sitting in front of it? I mean, that's.
Well, the Zoom background is actually this one right here. That's all that is. That hadn't changed.
Okay, but I see you and I see your email.
Right. So what I did was I added me, and then I can actually go in here and move me over to here if I want. It's just something I'm experimenting with.
What are you doing it with?
It's a green screen effect without, green screen effect without the green screen. And there is some, like if I put my hand up, you can see it's screwy. Maybe wrong choice of words, but it's got some issues.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll show my ignorance here about what OBS does, but OBS lets you blend images from several feeds.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I could add a background. I could add another one up here if I wanted to. I could just come over here.
Never used it. Don't broadcast. Completely ignorant of how you do all this stuff.
Well, I could add text real quick, and I'm going to go. I want to name this text right here, but you guys can't see this. And then I want to go. This is for, and I will say okay. I will move it. Now you can't see it until I figure out where it's got to go. Hang on one second. This is where I get confused because you have to put it in a specific order. Let me turn off the Zoom cred. There we go. So there's what I just created.
You got to change the color of your text. Oh, okay.
And then if I
Here's
want
something. ISF. Oh. Whoa.
it's there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm starting a new language. I'm supposed to be able to stretch that, but I can't remember. Okay, so you're there, I'm there. I should be able to bring the Zoom creds back in. Oh, you know what? Gary, I think you're correct. Let me turn that off.
Yeah, because you're not going to be able to see it.
Right. So let me change the color.
Make it black.
Didn't even think about
red.
that.
Dark red would look nice.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to center
You can make
it.
it dark red for when everybody cuts my throat.
Well, it doesn't look dark red, but there it is. And then I could move it up here. I can make it
Okay.
smaller, move it wherever I want. It's the more I kind of go down the rabbit hole,
So now it looks black on that one.
yeah, even though it's clearly red. Now I could go change it to a blue. I don't know how the blue, I did watch one earlier tonight that I sent to Alex, and the guy made it blue on blue. And you would think that would be horrible, but it actually served a really good purpose. Now, why did it not change? It should have changed to blue on blue. Because it's still red. I had this issue earlier too.
Well, you say there's a certain order you got to do all this stuff in?
Yeah, once you get them, I mean, I've got scenes that has 4 and 5 and 6 different sources, And if I don't get them in the exact order they're supposed to be, 307 FD. No, it's not going to change for some reason. But it's real simple fix. Just go in there and turn it off and it's gone. Get over there and it's gone. Nobody can see the boxes. But I'm going to get rid of the camera so I can get the camera back on Zoom. And hit OK. So I did send Alex a link earlier because this guy gets into the programming. Jeff, you might like it too. This guy gets into the programming aspect of it where it breaks down how this works. And he goes, oh, if you want to change this, he goes and shows you where it's at and how to change it. And then he created, he was within a box. He goes, oh, watch this. And he types it 1,000,000 miles an hour. And he goes, watch this effect. And he hits it and it changes.
Wasn't Dr. Rob, was it?
No, it wasn't Dr. Rob.
I don't think I'm going to do all that right now. All I have for like right now, all I have is an image to throw up there if I want to start the stream before you, if I want to start the stream a minute or two before you start the stream, and then I can mute OBS so there's nothing coming out. And when you start the stream, I can hide the picture and show the Zoom. And then
But when you were doing the virtual thing on the virtual machine we made, you did some things that made me think about that. No, the guy's name is Scott Fitchner, or Fitchter, however you want to put it. I think it's Fitchner, even though there's no N in it.
And then when I'm streaming those games, I just have my video capture device feed into OBS, and then I put then I make a window capture inside of OBS to make it capture the Zoom window, so I can put the virtual background behind me, and like I have now, and you can still see my still see my face, and then people can, then if I copy the link and put it in the description, people can talk to me, and then when I disconnect everything, the link is dead. So that when the video's going out, you see my face in the upper right hand corner, and my and the game, and then you can hear the game audio, my audio, and the Zoom audio all at the same time.
Alex, I have a question.
Yes, Catherine?
You were talking about the program, the white symbol on the desktop before, and then can ask if you deleted it before you restart the computer. Yes.
I deleted it. I tried to delete it and put it back, but
no, wait.
But I haven't actually started yet.
Shut up. And now I'm asking you, did you, right after you deleted the symbol, did you right click and chose refresh the desktop before you restarted the PC?
No, I did not.
Yeah, do that and then see what happens, and then you let me know, please. Because if you get refresh, you can do it all the time.
How do I get rid of hotkeys? Because once you create, oh wait a minute, I think you did it like this.
You can arrange the hotkey for the Zoom.
I'm going to erase all my hotkeys because every time I go in, like I was replying to someone in chat, when I hit a specific letter, then up pop the globe. So what I've got to do is I've got to create a weird combination of hotkeys, or I got to buy that stupid little box that everybody wants me to buy, which probably
is that the Doug box?
Yeah, we'll call it the Doug box because I can't think of what it's called. But that's
Stream Deck.
Yeah, I like that, the Doug box.
Well, I don't know what it is either. I've seen it.
It's called an Elgato Stream Deck.
Stream Deck.
Will it work if I don't have
He's got
an
the 15
card?
He's got the 15 key version, the original version. They also make a 6 key version. And I think they make one that's a little larger than the one he's got, maybe.
So his is a 15, you say?
His is a 15 key right now on Amazon. The one he has is $143. And the mini version, the 6 key version, is $99.
I probably couldn't figure out how to use the 6 key version.
Well, see, you've got to download the Elgato software and then program that to work with OBS. So that when you set that up to work with OBS, so that when you press a button on for like muting your audio, it mutes your audio in OBS.
Okay, I think I solved it. I just ran a real quick test, putting a stupid little chat into YouTube. I think I covered most of the letters. I covered the ones I know were hotkeyed, and it didn't change, so that's good. So, cool.
We've got snow flurries here tonight.
I backed the car in the garage in anticipation we may have snow on the ground in the morning, but I did watch the 6 o'clock news, and now it's kind of going around us a little bit. But the guy said, "You never know; it could change directions again." So, who knows?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Alex.
I sent out that email yesterday to my interviewer, and I did, but I have not gotten a response. Is it bad if I don't get a response for my
2 days?
thank you
No.
note?
Was it just a thank you note? I wouldn't necessarily expect a response at all if all you said was thank you for the interview. I appreciated seeing
I
you.
thought you already, oh, excuse me, Jeff, didn't you already send her one?
Yes, I did. I sent one yesterday.
And you sent one today?
I did not.
Okay, you just sent one.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything until you hear a decision at this point. The thank you note is just a courtesy sort of a thing, and it lets them know that you really are interested.
I have another question, Alex. Did you change the thumbnail on the video?
Did I change the thumbnail? Yes, Catherine, I did change the thumbnail.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I
You
did
said
that last
earlier,
night.
Alex,
As soon as you said something, I changed it before we even disconnected on Zoom.
Oh, good. Yeah, you did it while we were still live. Yes, very good.
Yeah, Alex, when you were reporting on your interview, you did say that instead of the standard 2-week thing, they said it could be like from 1 to 2 weeks, right?
They said next week. She specifically said next week.
Okay, well, next week goes all the way till Friday, remember?
Yeah.
So don't get
And I don't figure it'll be
Nancy.
Monday because Monday's a holiday, unless not all businesses close on Monday. So I don't.
Don't.
What day was your interview? What day of the week? Thursday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I wouldn't think even 2 weeks. I wouldn't hold her to her 1 week or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give them time yet.
And don't send any more things to her or anything else unless they request it.
I won't. I'm just.
I know it's
They
hard to be
said
patient.
that they was at the very. They said that they was at the very end of the first round of interviews. So by next week they should have a decision.
You know, it should doesn't mean they
As
will.
far as
Though.
the first round of,
Yeah.
and I know that, but I'm
Yeah.
just telling you that's what I was told.
How long was the job open for? About 6 weeks, you said?
Longer than that.
So they might not be any more rush to actually hire somebody either. So don't worry about it. It'll come.
Good point.
Because it was open for this this particular job was open before I graduated, because my buddy, one of my other buddies, applied for it and interviewed, and he didn't get the job, and he did that before I graduated, and then apparently then they took the job down, and then it got put back up, and it's been up since at least November, because that's when I applied for it.
Well, given their slowness and throughout this whole thing, looks to me like from their viewpoint, they're more interested in getting the right person than in getting somebody quickly.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a good point too.
yes, makes sense. It makes
And
sense.
I think from your experience, you said during the interview, sounded to me like you probably have got the technical background that they're looking for, or at least nobody indicated that you didn't.
Nobody indicated anything to me in any way that would make me think that they would not be that they would not want me back for a second interview, but we'll see.
Right. Well, I mean, now this is just based on my own experience. I haven't changed jobs that many times, but the last job search where I actually had to go through a bunch of interviews and whatever, when it was all said and done, that my hiring supervisor said that they knew from my resume and from the comments a friend of mine that was already working there had said that I had the technical background they wanted, but the purpose of the interviews was to see whether I fit into the culture there or not, basically. And you find that in the corporate world. So now now all of that sort of thing is very specific to individual companies. So
Hey, Alex, how many people work there that you could find out?
I don't know an exact number of how many people work there, but when I was there, when I got there, it was pretty much everybody was on their lunch break, and so people was leaving and going out, and I was sitting there by the front door, and everybody. I seen quite a few people, and they all said hi to me and all that. They always.
I mean, this location, are we talking about 100 people or tens of people or?
We're
or 1,000 people or?
just at the headquarters, just at the office where I'd be working. I don't know. I'd say less than 100 people.
Okay.
Are they nationwide?
They're actually worldwide.
Oh,
They have, if you go to the website, they have people in a whole bunch of different, like representatives in a whole bunch of different countries, and it just so happens that that their main headquarters is 30 minutes from me.
nice.
Do they say how many work for the whole company?
That I don't know.
Did they ask you about travel?
When they asked, they didn't ask me, but when they said if I had any questions, I asked them. I said, I seen on the job description where it says, ability to fly if needed, and they said, and I said I can't fly and all that, and they basically said that that wouldn't be an issue, and we'd make accommodations for somebody else to go if it come down to that. But because of COVID, they normally before COVID didn't have to travel that much, and because of COVID, it's went down even less. So,
What's the name of this company you were interviewing with?
ACDI. The website is acd-inc.com.
Okay.
And they also have a YouTube channel that basically explains all of their, with a whole bunch of webinars and explains how all their software works and everything that I've been looking at.
That's crazy. The real cool picture that goes with this, and the aisle bar is more centered than what it's showing up here, so I don't know what's going on there. I'll work on that later. That's a little bit better, not much. I wish I could get it's got a coffee cup in it's what it's got, so.
Now, say, put a coffee cup underneath it.
Yeah, it has it actually.
Anyway, I understand what y'all are saying, but it's, and in my position, if you're looking at it from my point of view, it's hard for me not to hold them to a specific time frame when they say they'll call me or email me next week. When they say it very specifically like that, I'm expecting to get a call or an email next week.
I mean, one way or the other, you might get the thank you very much for your interview. After further consideration, we've decided we're going to go down a new road, or at this time or you'll get congratulations. Your second interview will be on this date at such and such time. So, I mean, I think they'll follow up with an email, sure. I'm gonna go grab coffee. Just pretend there's a picture on that.
Yep.
Yeah? How much?
That's one of the nice things about interviewing today. You just send an email.
One of the things I find aggravating just from a societal viewpoint now is for just ordinary jobs, like you want to go work at Target or Walmart or Kroger's or wherever. Most companies now won't take any applications except online.
Yeah.
And I find that to be very disconcerting. I guess I'm just
There is actually a family-owned restaurant here in town, right down the road from me. That when they're looking for jobs, they will post on Facebook, waitresses needed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll say they'll say they don't even have a website for you to apply. They'll say on Facebook, absolutely no phone calls. Come to apply in person.
I like that better.
But that's a family-owned business, a family-owned restaurant that they only have 2 locations.
But a lot of times, bigger outfits that do the online applications and all that, they're hiring an HR company perhaps to do an initial screening. And my personal opinion is that a lot of good potential candidates will often get screened out of that kind of a process. But what do I know?
Yes.
And the man of the hour is back in the middle of my screen.
Yep.
But as far as the people I'd actually be working with and seeing on a day-to-day basis that actually work at the headquarters of that place, it seems to be a small like tight-knit community.
Yeah, it's just kind of a curiosity question, Alex, but what was the percentage of the time you spent with the HR people as opposed to the technical people?
Oh, their HR person or hiring manager or job interviewer person was in there at the same time as the technical guy was.
How long
They
did
were
he
both
ask
in there at the
questions?
same time.
Well, how long did he ask questions?
She had, when it started, she asked me basically one question. What are 3 words you would use, 3 objectives you would use to define yourself or whatever? And after that was pretty much the only question that she that she had, and the rest of them were technical questions.
Well, I like that part of it anyway.
I got a question. I mean, I got an answer.
Okay.
Sure. I'm gonna lower my hand. So, hopefully you didn't answer it like I did when they said, 3 words like you just said. I said, good, great, greatest.
No, I didn't answer it like that. No,
Probably good.
I hate that kind of.
I don't even think that's a pertinent question for a job interview.
But
No, but there's HR people like to play games and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you don't want to come back with, well, what are you talking about, Mr.
the rest
Stout?
of it
You don't
was
understand it at
the
all.
rest of it was discussion and technical questions.
I've read a number of articles recently about interviewing. Just I don't know why I stumbled onto them, but the other thing that they always like to trip you up with is, what are your salary expectations?
Now I didn't even
Well,
I
no,
didn't ask that question.
for
and that
somebody
didn't get
starting.
brought up.
Well, they will ask you that question sometimes, and basically what they're hoping is that you'll give them a lowball answer.
Right. They are. You're right.
Yep. It's all about the money.
I imagine if they bring that up, they'll bring it up in they'll bring it up in the
well,
next
for
interview.
a first job, particularly, that'll come later in the process, I would think. But the last time I was asked one of those, I was in a position where I already had my own health insurance from a job I had taken early retirement from. So I took the time to point out to them that I wasn't going to cost them any health insurance premiums. That's why you ought to give me a little more money. So don't know if it did any good.
It's a job?
Well, yeah.
I'd say it helped.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
But out of all the job interviews I've went to, or that I've done on the phone, or that I've done on Zoom or whatever, this one definitely seems to have gone better than any of the rest of them. So
Yeah, that's good. I'll give you just a little, if it's encouragement, little story here. When I was in graduate school, I had a roommate who was about a year ahead of me in terms of getting finished and getting out into the real world. And he sent out literally 400 job application letters. You know how many responses he got positive? 0. And he got a job with a laboratory in Ohio because one of the guys working there knew his department head at the university we were at. Called up and said, do you know anybody who's good for doing such and such and such and such in chemistry? And the department head said, yeah, I got a guy who's just finishing up here that probably can do everything you want. And he got the interview and got the job.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping
But
will
I
happen
mean,
with me. Because
Up until that time, I mean, he was, God, was he depressed up until that point, after all those letters. And now job searches and interviewing are not the same as they were back in 1970, of course. But
I mean, it's difficult because HR basically wants young guys, yes, but with the experience of a 48-year-old, yes?
yes.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's just not happening.
And they want
Yes.
to pay them less.
Yep. And a lot of it depends on the cycle of activity that's going on in a particular field. A couple of years before I graduated, before I got out of graduate school, there were some guys in our department. A lot of them were much sharper than I am. And they were trying to find jobs in a down cycle. And there was just nothing there. And a lot of them struggled for a year to 2 years trying to find something. And I got lucky. At the time I was getting out, we were in an upcycle for hiring. And I had, I think, 6 different job offers. And there were a couple interviews I had where I would have gotten more if I hadn't sort of said, well, this isn't really what I'm interested in. But that was just luck of the draw. I mean, I was getting out at the right time. It wasn't because I was in the greater shakes than a bunch of other people. Like I say, these other guys I knew, I considered to be much sharper than I was. And there's a lot of factors go into getting a job, at least the first job.
Well, the difference between this job interview and all the rest of them for me is the fact that I personally know someone that works at this job, and he graduated with the exact same degree that I have from the exact same school that I did. And he's been working there.
And if they like him, that's
2 or
a
3
plus
years.
in interviewing you.
Sure it is.
I mean, knowing somebody on the inside is always the thing. When I got laid off from a job I'd had for 22 years back in Tennessee, because all the funding for the work dried up, I was fortunate to have a friend that was working on a big project here in Las Vegas, who had worked with me for most of those years. And they liked him, and they took his word for what he told them about me. I mean,
so I'm hoping
some of that was just
when I was there, he was telling all of his friends, how I hope him pass the networking class, and pretty much how great of a guy I am. So I'm hoping me knowing him, and because he's been working there for a couple of years already, will help me.
If they like
help
him
me
and
get
he
hired,
gives you a
so.
good reference, that's a leg up. Certainly.
Yep, that's the one difference between this job interview and all the rest of them is.
Yep.
All the rest of them I didn't have anybody that was working there, but this one I do.
We had 5 people hired in to our team one time, and they didn't involve any of us on the team in the interview. And within 2 years, they were all gone. You got people.
Let's see how this one works.
You got people conducting an interview that don't even know anything about what we did. They can't even understand it.
Yeah.
Not good.
Oh, the guy that asked me the technical questions actually does work. My friend actually took me back to meet him before the interview, and explained to me what he does and all of that, and that was actually the guy that asked me all the questions, so I know that the guy that interviewed me knows what he's.
Well, it sounds like he's like a first level supervisor. And when I got this job here in Las Vegas 20 years ago, that was the main guy I interviewed, was the guy who ended up being my immediate supervisor. And he was, I don't know what fraction of his time, I would say he spent a quarter of his time doing administrative work and 3/4 still actually doing real engineering work. And so when you have somebody that's actually working on what you're supposed to be doing, why, that's always a plus. So you can talk the same language.
Somebody noticed the picture?
What?
Let's change the subject.
And my hand.
Good
So
night.
did Kerry get whatever he was trying to do done today? I kind of left.
I didn't see that, so I don't know the answer. I was out doing errands most of the
didn't
day.
watch.
Yes, they switched.
Yeah, but did it work? They switched. They switched the motherboards out, and then they switched the cooler out. And
So first, they used the wrong motherboard. So they had to switch from the Asus motherboard that Kerry doesn't trust to the Gigabyte motherboard. Then, at the very beginning, I said, look, this is a Deepcool Assassin. Gamers Nexus has a video on it. Yes. This cooler, it's basically lousy. Yes. So, but Carrie ignores me like always, yes? And I repeated that like 3 times, yes? In the end, I just like, you know.
So he admits we're doing a build again like most Fridays. Or?
And I wasn't
Yes.
trying to compete with Kerry and Mitch earlier, Ken. I was just,
That was a joke, Alex. That was a joke.
I know.
Don't worry. From now on, my jokes will all be prefaced with, "This is a joke."
You don't have to do that. I knew that. I was just giving you a hard time about it.
So so first they swapped the board because they had to, because Carrie tried the Gigabyte BIOS on the Asus board. Yes.
Right. Yeah, I seen that part. And everybody was trying to tell him.
Then wondered why the Asus board is not seeing the Gigabyte BIOS. Yes. And
Yeah.
then he swapped over the board. Then he realized that the Assassin Deepcool is actually lousy. Yes. I mean,
It just sounds like he's got way too much going on at one time when he's.
No, if he is not reading my comments, I try to help him. Yes. But if he is ignoring my comments, hey.
When he's building something, he ignores most people's comments.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm not just some
Yes,
idiot.
unless you're. I found in what live videos I've watched of his, he'll pretty much ignore your comments unless he's asking if anybody has technical questions or unless anybody gives a donation. Then he'll say something.
Yeah.
Well,
Robert's looking at. He just sent me a picture of it. Most of the central Tennessee area is looking for 2 to 6 inches of snow, and he's happy about that. Ugh.
yeah, most of where I live, like eastern Tennessee and on over into South Carolina, are supposed to get snow. So,
Like I
And
said,
did you like my chat that I sent you?
be lied.
Did you enjoy my chat that I sent you earlier?
In Carrie's Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I saw that. I replied.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. I just wondered because I thought it was funny. He was going to replace the motherboard, which he forgot to do. So that kind of I thought was humorous. And then I went and did some things. I come back and he's taking that monstrosity of a cooler off and putting something else on. So I left again. And then when I come back, I think they just gave up because from what I saw, it was like that wasn't working either. And they just,
But
I think
to go to liquid cooling.
I think he was trying to. I think he was trying to show what techs with 30 years experience do.
it's easy. Yes. With this CPU, yes, and that goes for the 9900K, 10, 11th, and 12th gen. Yes. Just use 360 or 420 AIO, yes, and Bob's your uncle, because these CPUs, they, I mean, Intel in the ARC, they, for the 12th gen, and that's just the 12600K, I looked up because I had to look it up for someone. It says 125 watt TDP. But it can actually go, to boost, it can actually go up to 150 watt TDP, yes? So, and for that, you may want the cooler that can do at least, well, have some reserve, yes? 190 or 200 watt TDP, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And the Deep Cool Assassin is not cutting it. Yes. I mean, if you want to, Bakira, if you want to put in a non-K CPU onto your motherboard, and then you put the Assassin on it just to make it look like you have Be
Kath-
consistent.
Hey,
Yes,
Catherine,
yes.
you said if you went to Bakira, I don't know the Bakira, but I do know the Tango, so, you know, we could try that. You guys are tough, man.
Hey Ken, did you ever find did you find a truck yet?
Nope.
Well, my dad hasn't put it on there yet. You don't have real information on it, but he was telling us we got somebody at church that was going to try to sell. Is wanting to try to sell their dad's truck or whatever. So I might put some pictures of it on the website when he gets the.
Now let me know
But
right
I
now.
don't know if I don't know if
We're in a holding pattern until Monday when the realtor comes out, and then we're gonna make a decision from there. And if that goes not how we planned, then I might be back in the market for a truck. Or if it goes as well as we hope it will, then there won't be a need for truck because we'll not be living in a house for a while. We'll be in an apartment complex in Indiana. So, but I appreciate you remembering that.
Got an interesting observation about your white green screen or whatever behind you there, Ken. When you went back to get something, you kind of faded into it. Reminded me of the scenes in the movies where somebody could talk to dead people and you watch the guy walk into the light.
Well, they have those effects on DaVinci Resolve. I just haven't done anything in that for a while. Anything of
No, but when you have like a white shirt and
Yeah.
it's mostly white that you're walking into, it really, that would be
Yeah,
an easy
what I
effect
did
to
was-
simulate. Yep. There,
I walked back here and got my fan. And set my
now you're
fan
walking into the light.
up. Yeah, yeah. Because it's rather warm in here tonight. So I had to get the fan going to kind of cool things
well,
down.
I kind of figured I don't know, but I kind of figured that he would have to get it. He would have to get it sold. My dad would have to get it sold before you have the ability to get down here.
Yeah, no, I don't want you guys to hold anything for me because I don't know when that'll be. That could be next month. That could be 6 months from now. I honestly do not know. I'm gonna do a math. Oh, wait a minute, that's going on over here. Can't do it there, can I? See if that shows up. Oh, it does. Never mind. Did I just press the green button? Ah, doggone it.
So Ken,
Yes.
you wear a white shirt in anticipation of the snow, or what is the reason?
No.
for that?
I just picked a shirt. This is a medium. This is another medium. I just picked a shirt out of the closet. I'm kind of shying away from t-shirts because I got a surprise for you guys on the t-shirts. But no, I just picked this one out and it said medium. I thought, it'll never fit. And it fits just fine. So,
Well, good.
yeah. Now, I didn't plan on having a white background like I have now, which really, kind of makes the white shirt go away. This gives me an idea too. This does give me a really good idea. Let me change it. See how this looks.
Bakira nine.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Oh,
I mean,
Bakira,
No.
no.
there's Greg's, I like Greg's. So,
Are those words written backwards, or that's just what I'm seeing?
Those
words
they're
are
forward.
actually-
They're correct.
Right, they're actually left to right. Let's change the subject. So if you're seeing subject to change, that's on your end.
Bakira nine.
Now, I have noticed that sometimes BH Ringer will do a background and it actually flips it backwards for some reason. But I've yet to
I
figure
thought
that
we were talking about your the Microsoft Windows under the logo, Greg.
No,
I was just looking at the words. They're backwards when I look at it. in Zoom.
trying to keep up with 3 streams right now. Mine,
Alex.
obviously.
Say, Alex, I looked up ACDI and they have a LinkedIn page. And on there it says the company size is between 51 and 200 employees.
Can I do this? If I do this over here on
I
this,
knew I seen quite a few people there when I went Wednesday, because they was all going in and out for lunch breaks and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So
You let them eat? Oh my God.
because I got there like 45 minutes early.
I'm still lost, but I'll stay lost. I'm better that way. I hear a phone ringing.
It's not mine. My phone never rings.
I think it's
And when
Lorna's.
it does, I'm surprised.
I'm checking my math from earlier today. Your phone ringing? No, the things I do. The things I do. The things I do. That TV or your phone?
Yeah, ever since I got this new phone a year ago, that it automatically blocks a lot of spam calls. So my phone very rarely rings anymore.
Now I got it straight. I had that check mark mirror my video.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that. You probably got the mirror your video on or off, and you need to put the check mark in or take the check mark out. I can't remember.
Take the check mark off.
So, Ken, does your background mean tonight we go down the rabbit hole or what?
One more time, please, Jeff.
The background you have, does that mean this is the night we go down the rabbit hole?
No,
After
no.
Alice?
I was just looking for something to say. You know, instead of saying, "Hey, let's change the subject," I thought maybe you guys would notice if I changed it to that. So, no, I'm just playing around.
I did, but I was ignoring you.
Story of my life.
Ken, you're trying to trick me into thinking I have one more viewer than I actually do on my stream, because one of them is you.
No trick involved. Yeah, one of them is me. I'm watching 3 streams right now. Mine, yours, and the one from a shoot off of Jeff Riddle. And it's been quite interesting to try to keep up with all 3. I need another monitor.
I wonder, you say you're going to be living in an apartment building in Indiana. How are you going to get all those? How are you going to get, 3 or 4 screens on your computer if you're living in an apartment building, since I assume it will only be like a 2-bedroom and it'll be a whole lot smaller?
The apartment complex that we lived in prior to moving in this house, the 1 bedroom was bigger than both our bedrooms combined. So I'm not too concerned about that. Nor am I concerned about the internet speed. More the location, the rent, the lease, the neighborhood. But that bridge is a long ways away from being crossed. I mean, this isn't going to go where she shows up Monday and says, "Oh yeah, I think I can get you this amount of money and I can probably sell it within a month." That's not going to happen, because she pointed out to me today, Charleston, Illinois is not the real estate capital of the world. And it's not. Yeah. It's far from it. Whereas if you're in a bigger city, Las Vegas, Indianapolis, Maryland, Baltimore, probably even Brainerd, has quicker sales than we have. Unless I can find someone that wants to buy it. I've been talking to Greg on the side. He's looking for a retirement home away from Baltimore. So that went right over your head.
Tough audience.
No. Well, then why don't we just?
He's still thinking about it.
He just needs to go to an assisted living facility or something, and in Maryland, closer to his house, closer to where he lives. He
You
don't need
better
to
be
come all
glad
the
he
way
can't
to Illinois.
So you found a setting somewhere where you can mirror.
Oh yeah, it's underneath where you select your webcam under the video in Zoom.
Gotta click on that horrible green button, then settings,
Oh, is that where it's at?
yeah, and then go to background filters and uncheck mirror my video. I don't know what it's doing, but as soon as I unchecked it, the
Right. When I show
Correct.
the picture, though, it's correct. But when I start the video, it's backwards.
Yeah, uncheck that mirror my video.
Yeah, that's cool. A new thing I learned. So no, this is not an indication that we're going down a rabbit hole tonight.
Oh, right.
But I was
I was
just
hoping we
thinking,
were going after Alice tonight.
nah. We'll
I got
give
a
him
question. Ken.
Oh, you're about to exceed your 5-question limit per show,
You
but go
said
right
that
ahead.
you wasn't. You said that you wasn't concerned about the internet speed at the apartment at Indiana if y'all move. What about if the internet is not fast enough for you to stream and do Zoom and all that? Then you won't be able to keep up your saying. You know, if the day ends in a Y, I'll stream.
Well, give me 35 seconds to think about that. I actually had the answer in about 3 seconds, but I'm going to use the full 35. I was streaming here at 125, I believe. I'll be fine with the internet. And since the area we're going to be living at has fiber optics and gig speed, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Well,
And if
heck, I'm
need be, I'll go to
streaming
my
it.
brother's house instead of studio.
I'm streaming at 50.
Right. So, pretty sure the greater Indianapolis area is going to have decent internet for me. But that's not even top 50 items for me to concern myself with. Now, the crazy thought, God, I can't believe I'm saying this. The crazy thought did enter my mind that if I can hire on where my brother, sister-in-law, and wife might be working at the starting rate of $18 an hour and get a $2,000 bonus, I may join the workforce again. I don't know. But I will admit that thought ran through my head. So I can push a broom for $18 an hour. And I can say, hey, Mrs. Jones, and she can say her name's Mrs. Sis. I'll say, okay, Mrs. Jones, and keep right on
I
going.
don't even have any idea what the ACDI place would pay, because we didn't even talk about it at the interview, and they didn't put it on the job description, so I have no idea.
What is the position?
Technical support consultant. It's basically I'd be answering the phone, email, chat messages, stuff like that, because they have customers, because they're the ones that do they're an MSP, a managed service provider for printing the paper cut stuff, and so customers get services from them, and I'd be the one that's a customer service, the technical support when they call them.
So help desk stuff to start with.
Yes.
I'm going to guess $16, $17 an hour to start.
Yeah, that's about the average.
My ex-son-in-law has a 2-year degree in information technology, and he started working for an outfit, and that was about what he started for. He later on moved on to another company where he got more money, but he was doing servers and phones and all kinds of stuff at that place.
Well, this place, it may be some of that too, but the way I read it sounds like customer service, technical support, like, because they still expect you to know. They still expect you to know like Mac and Linux stuff and Active Directory and all that sort of stuff.
Did they tell you that they give you training?
They did not, but I'm sure they will, or that'll be brought up in a later interview. Because
Well, you'll get notified next week. You'll get your second interview, and then the third interview, and then everybody will be very happy for you. But you still got to buy the first dinner.
what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You're going to buy the
have
first dinner.
8 or 9
It's like when
people
you make a
descend
hole in one
upon
on the
you.
golf course, you got to buy everybody around the drinks because you got a hole in one. You got a job. You got to buy the first dinner.
Do what, Jeff?
Whoa,
I said you'll have
whoa,
8 or 9 of us-
whoa. Hold on a
8 or 9
minute.
of
That
us
boy's going
descending
into
on you for
timeout.
dinner.
Hold on. Hold on.
You're watching my stream. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Why'd you do that for?
We're trying to just tell you how many dinners you got to buy.
We didn't want you to have a heart attack on the screen, so we threw you over there to look it up.
Well, you're too fast. You're too fast. You let me in too fast.
Because we don't take hours researching something. We're done. We may be old, but we know what we's doing.
And if we don't know, we makes it up.
Exactly. Oh, yes, the fine art of BS. I was just messing with you, Alex. I said something. Hey, your glasses are crooked. Put them on straight. Everybody don't need to know you were crying. Just there you go. Good job. You're getting better at catching the jokes, though. I got to give you credit for that. That's good. I don't know that that's a bad influence or a
Well,
good.
I live with the king of dry humor, the king of jokes.
Oh, you saw my book.
I'm referring to my dad.
Oh, well, I taught him.
I'm sure
A
you
lot
did.
of technical places, I think you'll find there's more dry humor than other kinds.
God, yes.
Although the environment has changed a lot since I began work back in the late 70s.
What does dry humor have to do with technical questions?
Are we
It's
back to technical questions? I didn't realize that. Hold on, let me.
Just the
You guys got
type of people that tend to work in technical places, I think, more often than not have dry humor than, say, slapstick style humor.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would 100% agree. Hey, I just became a mod on another channel. Imagine that.
What, the
I
Tech
don't know.
Talk channel?
No, this is a shoot off from Jeff Riddle. But take this however you want. It's a bunch of women to get together, and every now and then a few men join in there. And I wanted to post my link, and that's why they made me a mod. So I've been keeping up with them for about 3 weeks now.
No, Jeff Riddle, is he the guy who did the veteran stuff?
No, he lives up in Michigan, and they do a daily show, and they talk about many things.
Okay.
I wonder what Doug's gonna talk about tomorrow.
I don't know. I kind of blew today it with Carrie, so I'm not going to go out on a limb on that.
Actually, I was wondering because I didn't see him post anything yet for tomorrow.
So you said So was your prediction right about it being? I haven't seen it. I haven't watched Terry's stream.
No, Terry
it being
was,
the
or Doug
Terry,
wasn't on
Doug, and
Terry's
Mitch
channel,
show.
so I will humbly take my lumps and say I was wrong.
Huh?
Doesn't bother me a bit.
What?
I'll be right back.
Come on, cheer up.
No, I made a prediction and it didn't come true.
Hey, you win some, you lose some.
Now you lose more than I win. No, he hasn't done anything yet, but again, maybe
You didn't
not.
post a preview?
I haven't checked. I've got Alex's channel running.
Did
I'm
Doug
looking
post
under
one?
my subscriptions here and I can't find him. I'm getting,
Terry was going
Oh,
to.
it's LiveWindowsTraining.
Terry was going to an all-in-one. William Dawson says. We were talking about when you type. And he said Kerry's going to go to an all-in-one. So he's going to put an all-in-one on that computer build he was doing today. So
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. I talked to you guys, but since Alex restreams it, then people that follow him are this is kind of neat. Okay, so that ended. So I can get out of that one.
what was the thing I see that there was a stream by Doug a couple of days ago about Windows 10 home drive encryption? I didn't
Yeah.
even know that you could encrypt that with
Yeah, that
It's
kind of
a-
lost me too.
It seemed I watched that. It seems to be a less configurable. According to Doug, it's a less configurable version of BitLocker that you can't do. It's a bare bones version of BitLocker that you can't do much with.
Yeah, it says Windows 10 home
It
drive.
basically automatically stores your recovery key in OneDrive or whatever, so that automatically so that you can't lose it or whatever. But so apparently you have to have OneDrive configured in order to be able to use it. But
I use VeraCrypt to make an encrypted drive, like a virtual drive where I store stuff like from the bank and credit cards and that sort of thing. And basically it's just a big file that turns into a drive letter when you go through the VeraCrypt software. So it will encrypt the whole disk as well, but I'm not sure I want to do all of that.
I don't even want to think about it because I screw things up enough as it is, and that'll just be something else. I'll end up screwing it up. Then I'll be calling Darren going,
no.
bloody hell, you're not
I'm
gonna
all right.
believe
I
it."
don't need it. I don't need the whole drive encrypted. I don't have much on the computer that I don't want other people to see or whatever should the computer get stolen. But like the computer I'm on now, it stays in the house, and when we're not home, the door's locked, the deadbolt's done, and the security system is on. So if
You don't let your computer out to play in the yard every now and then? You said it stays in the house. I mean, I let mine go outside 15 minutes a day.
well,
Gotta
you're
get the
smoking
water.
because it's not pork or beef. It's not
You
food.
chicken. No, you said your computer stays in the house. I thought that indicated maybe you might let them go outside every now
A leash on it.
and then. Really.
I don't.
Put a little computer
But-
door in the door.
I
Never
don't.
mind.
But if I wanted to hook up my desktop computer, if I wanted to take this desktop computer and hook it up outside, I probably could, because our Wi-Fi is strong enough, that it reaches out in the driveways. I could hook it up outside.
You just let it wander around on its own.
Hey, isn't that what they make laptops for?
Yep.
Let me think about this. So you want to take your computer outside if you got good Wi-Fi. Yeah, I think they make laptops for that.
Speaking of, I talked to an honest to God Microsoft representative in Costco today. She was there trying to encourage people to buy Microsoft laptops.
So she actually worked at Microsoft, or
She was a Microsoft employee.
Selling Surface,
Surface, yep,
Surface 3.
yep.
but don't they have like a that's an old model, right? Don't they have like a Surface 4 or Surface 5 out now?
No. Last year was 2.
She was talking about this new thing they've got in some of their, I guess Intel said called EVO. EVO, I don't know exactly what all it involves. It's some new technology in some of the systems they have. It's not only in Microsoft Surface, it's in some other computers too. She was pushing that.
Buy one.
Microsoft Surfaces are good for, I guess, good for people that need a portable computer. But as far as I can't see the benefit of like me having one because they're like not upgradable at all. What you get is what you got.
But
Kind of like
we
an
don't-
iPad.
Boy, when we run out of things to say, we just all don't say anything. So let's spend, how much time can we sit here and not say anything? This will be interesting.
I get my teddy bear a long time.
There was one Microsoft Surface they come out with that shipped with Windows 10s. So it was like the Chromebook version of it. It was like the Chromebook, Microsoft's answer to a Chromebook. And if you wanted to upgrade the software on it to Windows 10 Pro, you had to pay or whatever. You had to pay for the upgrade. So you paid for $1,000 or whatever computer, and then you had to pay for the license to upgrade it to a,
Well,
to a
S was
usable
the one
version
that
of
would only
Windows.
get stuff through the Microsoft Store, right?
Right.
Yes.
That's the one that. So they made it as it basically was with that Windows 10s operating system, and they was trying to make it like a Microsoft version of a Chromebook, where you could only download stuff from the Microsoft Store, like on an Android phone, you can get stuff through the Play Store. But on an Android phone, if you know what you're doing, you can go in there and enable the setting to install apps from unknown sources, and then install whatever app that you want, as long as it
Yes.
comes in a .apk file.
Yes, you can sideload it.
Don't you fear, though, by putting all these things on there that allow you to do things with other things, with things you're not supposed to do things with, that sometimes some things aren't going to work?
Yes. Especially
You
because
understood all that?
I broke my Wii. I broke my Wii that away. My original Wii that away, and that's the reason why I ended up having to get the one I have now, the Wii U, because I tried to put stuff on it that you wasn't supposed to put on it. Messed around with the settings I wasn't supposed to mess around with, and then got a little too far in the configurations and basically fried the whole software. The console itself would still boot up, and it would still come up to the menu screen. But if you tried to click on anything, nothing would work. It would come up with a message, and nothing would work at all. So I basically put myself between a rock and a hard place, where I had all these games and all these controllers, and I couldn't do anything with them without buying a brand new $350 console at the time.
When you put yourself between a rock and a hard place, was that intentionally?
No, because the reason why I did it was putting this software on the Wii that's not licensed by Nintendo was so that I could rip my games from the DVDs to an external hard drive to be able to play them off an external hard drive. Well, after I did all that and all that worked, I thought, well, I was Googling stuff and looking up stuff, and I was seeing that you could do this and you could do that, and then you could change this on the menu and change that, and I was messing around with those settings after I had done what I originally wanted to do, which was copy all my games over to a hard drive, and then that's what broke it. My messing around, looking up stuff is what broke it. If I would have just stopped after I copied all the games over to the hard drive, it would still work.
I just wondered. I mean, I was impressed you could keep up with what I said, because I said it intentionally the way that I said it so that no one would understand what I said. And you kept right up with it and answered the question. So good job. And dead silence again.
Well, bring up a topic.
Name it.
DW's not in here, or he would have something to say.
Oh, he's watching and he's saying something in the chat.
He's
As
waiting
is
till
Bob is back.
He's waiting till you in the YouTube stream, and then he'll jump in.
Probably. Now, usually that's Robert. He does that when he's at work, but he's off this weekend, so who knows? But by all means, anybody got anything on their mind you want to bring up? Say something.
I want more RAM.
Hmm? You want more RAM?
Yeah, can I
How much you
download
got?
it?
How much RAM you got now? 32?
No, 16.
Oh,
Waiting for the price to come down.
I don't need more RAM. When I was getting parts to put in this computer I have now, I looked at how much 64 gigabytes of RAM cost, and it was like $300, and I couldn't justify, spending that much on RAM at right now. So I got 32 for like 130 something.
That's what I usually get, is just 32.
Because am I really going to notice a difference between 32 and 64 right now? No, I'm not. Because with 32, like right now, I'm only using like less than 20% of my memory.
I mean, if you don't work with animation or Blender, or these take a ton of RAM, these programs. But the majority of people is probably fine with 16, and if you do editing and stuff like that, or if you run VMs, you may want to have 32.
That's
Yes.
the main reason why I have 32 is because I like to run VMs sometimes.
Yeah, but I run VMs from time to time too, and I have I have 16 gigabyte in my PC, and it's fine. Yes.
I like that, Ken. I know what it says. I can read it. You don't have to hide.
not hiding. I just went to my midget days. I'm trying to figure out what the blurb is over there underneath the E and the R in viewers and choice. I don't know what that's trying to pick up, because there's absolute, well, you know what? It's probably trying to pick something up over, I don't know. I cannot handle being that short, though. Let's go around the room. Greg, bring up
Yes.
a topic. Your choice. Yours choice. Oh, wait, you said Ram. Rick? No, go ahead, Greg. Seriously.
Go ahead.
Rick, anything on your mind?
No, I was just wondering if, well, after tonight and tomorrow, what's your weather gonna be like?
Yeah,
Our temperatures are kind of like a yo-yo. Goes from 29 and the next day 60
Oh,
degrees, the next day
shows we have
24.
snow showers. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run outside. Me run. Right.
I could probably go faster than he. I could probably go faster than him, faster than he could run. I could probably outrun him at 6 miles an hour.
He's older than you are, Alex.
And plus, I'm on wheels. So being old ain't got nothing to do with it, because I'm on wheels.
Yes, I was always as long as
Oh, I
I
got
walked, I
disappointed
was
news.
always the slowest. But now I'm the quickest.
No snow, no showers, no nothing.
Good. You wanted that, yes?
No,
Oh,
but according to the app, we show snow showers for the next hour, and at 1 o'clock, 50%, all the way to 3 o'clock where it turns to 60%, all the way to 7 o'clock where it goes 90%. So I backed the car in the garage just in case we get snow and the wind blows and it drifts again. But no, I don't want snow at all.
Oh,
I'll take 8 to 12.
You can have it.
Um,
You can have it. Okay,
You
Catherine,
know-
what's on your mind?
you know, not this video, not this Friday. The last Friday when Carrie went with this